There came a man having been sent from God. His name was John. So John was sent, the Greek word there is para, and it means in the presence of God, from beside God. So John came from the very presence of God. We can look at the Greek word there, para. It means from beside, by the side of, beside, alongside, in the presence of God, right? Something closely alongside. So we can also translate it as John was sent from the presence of God. John was sent from beside God, right? He was sent from there. And we can look at other instances where it's used. Para, we can see that they were beside the road, beside the sea. Jesus said, with men all possible. With God, the beggar was sitting beside the road. So this shows a very close proximity. He was standing beside the road, right? They were standing beside the sea, next to it. So John was sent from God. He was next to God. He came down, right? Where was John's baptism? From heaven, or was it from men? Was it from heaven, or was it from men? We understand what this means. To those who have a Hebrew understanding, it means that God is its source. God is the originator. To be of heaven means that it's not from mankind. Like Christ says, you are from below, I am from above. Well, he wasn't suggesting that they were actually from hell, and he was from heaven in that instance. They are from below, he is from above, meaning their father was the devil, his father was God, right? And Christ tells you in other instances, just as you sent me into the world, I have sent them into the world. They are not of the world, just as I am not of the world, right? We're told that as is the man of heaven, so too are those who of heaven. But we're not trying to argue that these people were actually sent into the world incarnate, right? Or they're not of the world, meaning they're alien men or some type of God man like Jesus, right? They're of heaven. Jesus says, you have been with me from the beginning. Who are you? What I have told you from the beginning. John's baptism came from heaven. Where was John's baptism? From heaven, or was it from men? So when you have a Hebrew understanding, it helps you understand the idioms. It helps you understand that Christ did not pre-exist. It's just that God was its originator. He's come from God. Other people are also coming from God. They're sent. How many times have I heard, oh, she's a gift from God, or she's from heaven. God sent her into the world. She's been sent into the world. She's an angel, right? I mean, we have no problem understanding words like that in our culture. It just means that God sent. God is a source. So they are heaven sent, meaning that they've been inspired by God to come into your life, right? And so when Christ is sent into the world, he's come down from heaven, all good gifts come down from heaven, from the Father. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father. John's baptism was from heaven. Christ was from heaven because in a couple of ways. The Spirit that proceeded from the Father overshadowed Mary and caused life to be conceived in the womb. So he is from heaven, his origins, because it's spirit, right? God is its source. God is the one who created life in the womb of Mary. So he is from heaven, meaning that he wasn't conceived on earth from a man, from sperm, right? It wasn't mankind's doing. It was God's doing. So you can say that he did come down from heaven. That's his origin, because his origin is from God, who's of heaven, not from man on Adam, Adam's side. That's why it tells you in 1 Corinthians, the first man, Adam, became a living being. The last Adam became a life-giving spirit. He is from heaven. But remember, when they're writing the gospel here, Christ had already been ascended to heaven and sitting at the right hand of God. People have a hard time when they're reading the gospel because they're not reading it through the eyes of Hebrew understanding. They're reading it through the eyes of pagan Greek philosophy.